bit of a problem here with Perkins at the moment. When it was getting hot, the thing was smoking, spluttering a little bit, down on power. It was pouring a bit of white smoke out, so we've been going for the injection pump on it here. This sure Perkins 1906-2200 engine, serial number there. I will post the engine family, decal, and all the bits of info of that sticker there in a picture here. Yeah, so it's been smoking, but it's been hot, running rough, down on power. So we've gone for the injection pump on it. Spoke to our diesel injection specialist, sorry. He's telling us that the lift pumps can break up on these. That kind of the swarf and the bits of metal findings can then travel up through the filter, then down into your injection pump, which could give the, what was it? You could get problems then with your advancement on the pump, which could cause it to smoke. So we stripped her off. It's going off to the pump shop now. I will show you how to time the engine up and refit the pump. Now, the fuel pump we're taking off here is a Delphi 1291 type pipe. Type injection pump. We've got the locking tab in here. Okay, so that's kind of, it's a bit of a figure 8, this cap here, but one's bigger than the other. Just on the inside of here, you can just see it. Try to get you there. There's a collar. This part here won't fit over that collar. The part now is actually wider, so it fits over the collar. You screw this all the way in, and that should lock your pump shaft. When you take it back out, you unscrew it, and then the narrow part of the collar will slide down. You tighten it back up. That's how you know that the pump's unlocked and the shaft's unlocked. You spin it like this just to make sure that it's not caught anywhere when you put it back in. So you know the pin's all the way in. The collar's nice and loose on the wider part, so your shaft on your pump should be locked. Also, I locked it up on the front here. You just see there on the bottom. The drill bit fits perfectly into the locking position on the fuel pump. Goes through your flange, which your gear is attached to. I think this is a 9mm drill bit or 8.5. I'll double check when I take it out, but it fits perfectly. Works for the timing tool. To get in this position, I had obviously the engine timed up completely on all the marks, and then this drill bit will go through the gear and will lock your fuel pump up on the front as well. I did this one here just to make sure. Pop the lift pump off there. It's just 2 fuel lines, 4 bolts on, pull straight out. You know, your little arm runs on your cam. So that's going to go off to be tested as well. Check that one out. Lift pump just sits underneath your exhaust manifold there. It's nice, easy to get to be honest. Got a hole in the chassis here for the Manitou to get it in there. Injectors 2 and 3 had a good bit of blow by on them. You can see there by the difference in the injectors. All the carbon's been blown probably past these 2 bottom copper washers. So, or then these collars here could have been not torqued down enough. So we'll get these nice and cleaned up, get the bores cleaned up. This one here was very, I don't know, it wasn't D's on it, but it was very, some of it was on it. It didn't come out dry, so we're going to have to try and see what that was as well. So we're going to get the injector sent off now for testing. Alright, injectors all marked up now. There's your lift pump there, 4 bolts. The little arm there runs off the camshaft, draws up your fuel from your tank, and just go around, the engine's turning. Injection pump in there, all ready to go off to the injection shop now to be tested. Right, and the new pump has arrived, and I fit it into the vehicle here. it's not too bad down to get into this bit of space, pushed it down here. I've got the 3 mounting bolts tightened up, 22 Newton meters for the mounting bolts. Let's put this down here, I'll show you. There's a little bracket down the back on them. Let's get this. Just see down here. There it is. Just a little bracket sits at the back there with a nut and bolt on. Just supports the back of the pump. I've just got that out there loosely while I finished tightening the pump up. Sorry, it's not the clearest. I think the torch is blurring it a little bit. Wire here is back on, comes all the way down underneath. Just sits on the back of your, just see it there, just there it is, sits on the back of your pump. You can see that, it's just on the back of the pump. The pump's all nice and timed up, as you can see, like I showed on the other one there. Comes to the factory locked. It's in the lock position when it comes. The front here, you can see that the drill bit is back in the pump there. It didn't come in the new pump, the drill bit, but I just double checked it. Make sure it fitted back into the pump, no problems. Goes in there nice. Drill bit is a 7/16 drill bit, fits perfectly in the front of the pump. 7/16s. Just show there with the mirror. Sorry, I think the mirror's getting blurred a little bit by the torch, but you can see the pump's in line with the locking position there. So now we're gonna have a look at the timing. I'll show you how the engine's all timed up, and we'll put the gear back on the pump. To time the engine on the Manitou here, I turned the engine completely over until I got to TDC on number 1 using the timer marks. I pulled the front cover off, as you can see. Now there is a procedure to find out TDC on number 1 without pulling the front cover off. I'll attach the pages in the video here. It's a bit complicated. I just found this was a bit easier, even though it's only a gasket. It's pretty easy to get off. But I'll just show you here the timing marks on it. That's your camshaft to your idler, and then your crankshaft here into your idler gear. You've got the 2 lines, and then the 1 line meets up in the middle. As you can see, someone's been in this engine before. There's white Tipex over the gears. What I done was I just cleaned off the white Tipex and made sure the OEM marks were on it. I didn't want to just assume someone had timed it out right. Everything looks to be good to me for what I can see in the front of it. Both those gears are lined up as they should be. As we can see, fuel pump is off. I'm going to attach the fuel pump gear to it now. Just one thing while we were doing this. The bottom bolt on the fuel pump itself was an absolute nightmare to get on. I don't know if there's a tool or anything, so I just dropped off. It's your main hydraulic pump. Took that out, and then I was able to get a 13mm spanner on the bottom of it. That was a bit tricky. That probably took me about an hour to get that pump off and stuff. The bolts on the pump aren't easy to get off either. They're Allen keys, as you can see. A few of them I had to leave in it, so that was the easiest way I could find to get that bottom fuel pump. Now there could be a special tool from Perkins to do it, but I didn't have that available. So now we're going to put the camshaft gear back on. Sorry, not the camshaft, the Injection pump gear back on. Alright, the fuel pump gear has now been installed here. If you look here, sorry about the angle of this, I'm doing this upside down in the machine. As you can see, so it's not the best angle, but the fuel pump gear is on. Screws are in place. Timing marks are good to the idler gear. So the idler gear to the fuel pump's timed up. Idler to the camshaft, idler to the crankshaft. That's all your marks there. And when the engine's set like this, that means it is on top dead center for number 1, ready to fire. When you install the pump, that is where they want the pump, TDC number 1. So the timing should all be good now. The gear is easy enough to fit, easy enough to come off. It just popped off once I undone the screws. The 4 fastener nuts here are 28 Newton meters. Once you have the gear on, you have to just turn it back anti-clockwise, just so you remove the backlash from the gear itself, and then tighten down your 4 securing nuts, 28 Newton meters. If you look here, there is a hole there for inserting your timing tool pin into for timing your engine up. It's a bit hard to see there, but that's the hole you're looking for. This pin should go back in, sit nice, flush. That's at 180 degrees or 6 o'clock at the bottom of the pump. You can see that one. If that's in there, you know you've got your timing good. So now I'm just going to tighten these down and clean up the front cover, get the front cover back on the crankshaft. There's a bit of progress here now. The front timing cover is back on. Down here, sorry. This one here, back on. 22 Newton meters on these bolts. The gasket here kept on falling off, so I glued it to the back of the timing cover plate. Just a few little dibs and dabs here just to hold it in place. It was a bit of a trick. It was a lot easier to do it that way. Crank putties back on, new seal fitted. I couldn't find a torque setting for these bolts, so I just done them to 70. Fingers crossed, that's good. Water pumps back on. See here, you've kind of got 2 gaskets. One goes behind the water pump, then one for the crankshaft case. Water pump again, 23, 22 for the bolts. And the hydraulic pump is back on. So that's handy there. 2 of the hot nasty bolts I was on about before down the back. I've got to get back in, but new ring on the hydraulic pump is back in place. So we are making progress here. I'm going to put a better picture of the timing up. Be a bit easier to see, about have a video upside down picture. All 4 injectors fitted back into the engine. Collars here. New washers fitted to the bottom of the injector. You should put a bit of sealing compound on the bottom of your locking collar here, and then torque them down to 40 Newton meters evenly. I drained out all the diesel from the tank. It's not looking very good, to be honest, the diesel. It's very sort of like muddy looking, the diesel is. So have a look in here. The tank's all nice and clean now. It was all congealed at the bottom of the tank. So I've cleaned out the tank completely, put 20 litres of fresh diesel in there. I think this was obviously letting in dirt and water by the gasket was broken here, so I'm going to make a nice new gasket up for the level sender. The congealed stuff at the bottom of the tank probably got sucked over to the pump as well as all the dirt, bits and crap, which led to our failure in our fuel pump. So I'm just gonna get a new gasket made up, put it back on here, and we'll try and give her a start. Nice new gasket made up for it there. Let's get the sender back in. Hopefully that'll seal it up nice. I also put a bit of diesel into this cup here to see if it separates. You can see there on the bottom, in the middle there, it's like water or something like that, or something in the diesel has separated. And on top there is a bit of separation just rests on the surface. You can see at the bottom there again. So it rests on the bottom. So it's best to have trained out the tanks, clean the diesel before we start up with the new pumping. Alright, all back together. Air filter, everything back on. Let's fire up and see what happens. There she goes. All back, running nicely. Starts straight on the bottom.